Yeah, guys. So I uh, I was at work today and um, installing some equipment, and so I met a lady. She was very nice. She I installed her equipment, and after I installed it, we were talking about the Bible and different things, and it was an interesting conversation. She began to tell me about how she felt like people at the church were charging her money um, for Bible lessons and just asking for a lot of money for tithes and different things. And she was, I felt really bad, that to see, see your people taken advantage of like this. And so we got to discussing different things about the Bible, and she asked my opinion on that kind of thing, like giving organizations money, etc. And then after that, she started telling me about uh, I don't know how we got on the subject, but she stated that she had a chicken coop, and then so she decided to that she would show it to me, and I I was like, yeah, I'd love to see it. So um, I thought that shit was awesome. So and I've been thinking about getting a chicken coop myself, and so she took me in the back and she showed me the coop, and then just we discussed like maintenance, how many chickens you might need to start a coop, and so I'm gonna do it. And what I'll do is I'll document some of my as I build this coop and get my chickens. Now I'm not gonna get a lot of chickens. I'm just gonna get a few to start. But I was really impressed by what she said. She was stating that basically you could have she you could have a large amount of eggs with just like maybe I think she said like 3 to 6 chickens for one person would yield a lot of eggs. So yeah, I mean, as you can see here, this is a coop. She put the chicken. They go in at night. She said they'll go in once it get dark for safety. They'll just fly into the coop themselves. She doesn't even have to corral them or anything. And then she'll, generally lock the coop up. And she says she's gonna get one with the door because that automatically locks. Like the chicken can go in, and then it locks or whatever at a certain time or whatever. But um, yeah, she said she only had a small amount of chickens. Maybe I don't remember seeing any more than about. It couldn't have been no more than maybe 10 chickens. And she said she has so many eggs. She gives her daughter's eggs. She gave her daughter 36 eggs, and then she gave me 12 eggs, and then she said she has a ton of eggs left. And so yeah, I was just looking at this. I was like, man, this is fascinating. So what I'm thinking is like I'm gonna start off with maybe. I told her I said, well, let me get your opinion since you're an expert. She said she's had chickens all her life. So, and this is in the city, mind you. This is in the middle of a pretty much a downtown, almost not downtown, but on I guess the outskirts of a city, right, suburban area in the state of Texas. Just so I thought it was fascinating. So um, yeah, so in a very limited amount of space, let me add, it's a very limited amount of space, and so it showed me what I could do because I was like, the amount of space that she had her chicken coop in is about. I have a really small courtyard type of yard in the back of my house, and I said, damn, this is about the same size as the back of my house. And she said, yeah, you don't need a lot of space. And she gave me some tips and pointers as far as like chicken feed and watching out for possums and raccoons and stuff. But she said, yeah, they're pretty low maintenance and they're very chill. You don't need a rooster, so they're quiet. And with like, she told me, she said, yeah, with like 3 to 6 chickens, one person can have a huge amount of eggs. She said, listen, you'll probably have more eggs than you can, know what to do with. I said, well, shit, I'll start a business. I'll start selling them. I'm not going to let them go to waste. If I start producing a lot more eggs and I can use personally. She said, yeah. She said, with 3 to 6 chickens, you could produce, she said, anywhere from 3 to 6 eggs a day. right? And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. She said, you'll probably have anywhere from 3 to 6 eggs a day, maybe a little more. I was like, shit, that's a lot of eggs. She's like, yeah. So, with the price of eggs being about $5 for high quality eggs will run you about maybe $8, even more, maybe $10, right? Depending on where you are. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get me some chickens, and go ahead and start a chicken coop. A chicken. I think if I'm able to produce, I would start a business with chickens if I was able to produce, let's say, if I could get about, let's say, 10 chickens, and I can produce about, I don't know, 10 eggs a day, I would definitely start a small egg business and sell, free range chicken eggs. And yeah, I mean, you can get anywhere from probably, I mean, at least $6 a dozen for some free range chicken eggs, fresh farm, pretty much farm fresh. So I thought it was a cool idea. I said, man, shit, just to have fresh food, self sufficiency, from large scale farms, and the price of eggs. I mean, if you're spending $5, $6 a dozen on eggs, and maybe buying a couple of dozen a week, it might be worth it. And not to mention, you could level up, and then with the space that you have, depending on the area you're in, if you can have the chickens, you can then turn that into a small, side hustle. And it's actually, I mean, just as you can see from the video, the chickens were actually very cool. And she said, listen, when they stop laying eggs, I just, it's time for fried chicken, or barbecue chicken or something, right? And so it is what it is. So, yeah, so I gotta say, like, I mean, I would recommend guys look into this. Like, if you can move somewhere where you got some space. Not even a lot of space. Like I said, the place I got, I have a very limited amount of space around my house. And but I gotta say, what she showed me today was, if you have a limited amount of space, you can still do this. Okay, you can still do this. So yeah, it's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna definitely get me some chicken. So I just wanted to show you guys this, and then also let you know, like, this is something that you can do. I've seen it with my own two eyes. This is something that you can do as far as becoming more self-sufficient, and then also um, making some money, like a little side hustle. So, but anyway, yeah, look into it. Do your own research. I'll post some videos once I get the chicken coop going. Take care.